What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Trap Fish Aquatics. Today we're going to be talking about fishless tank cycling, how to do it, things to look out for, and things you should know. Okay, so fishless tank cycling, what is it? Fishless tank cycling is the process of establishing the nitrogen cycle within an aquarium without the use of fish. It's not very hard to do, and it is looked on in a brighter light in the aquarium hobby because you're not risking the life of any fish, and you're not risking injury to any fish either because you don't use fish in the aquarium while you're doing it. It's very simple. And this video is basically just going to talk about it a little bit and try and help you guys so that you have a better understanding of how it works, how long it's going to take, and how to do it. So we'll just start right from the beginning. There's a couple different ways you can do a fishless cycle. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the most natural way you can, and that is ghost feeding, right? So you went out and you got a tank, or you got gifted a tank, you set it up, you got your substrate, your decorations, you filled it up with water, you got a light on it, substrate, you know, it's all good to go, right? We'll use this tank here as an example behind me. And you don't have any fish in it yet, right? So what you need to do is ghost feed. So basically you take a little bit of fish food, you know, take a pinch out of your fish food, sprinkle it in your tank every day, even though there's no fish in it. And what that's going to do is that fish food's either going to A, settle on the bottom, or B, get sucked into your filter, and it's going to start breaking down. So by breaking down, I mean it's going to rot, right? So that's going to produce ammonia, and the ammonia, you'll be able to test for it, and you'll see it going up. I usually try to keep my ammonia in the 1 to 2 parts per million range. If you go too high, like if your ammonia gets up to like 8 parts per million, it could stall the cycle because the ammonia is so potent. So try to keep it around 1 to 2 parts per million. And what's going to happen at that point is the aquarium is going to generate bacteria that is going to break down the ammonia and convert it into nitrites, right? So ammonia and nitrites are, in low levels, are very toxic to fish, which is why fishless cycling is a good form of cycling, because you are not risking that. So the ammonia is going to break down into nitrites, and then the bacteria is going to then start breaking down the nitrites into nitrates. And you'll be able to track that with a test kit as it goes on. And then eventually what's going to happen is the ammonia will disappear, the nitrites will disappear, and then you will just be reading nitrates. At that point, the aquarium has been cycled, it's fully established, and you can then do a water change, get your nitrates down to under 40. Try to go anywhere between 0 and 40 parts per million. I usually go 20 to 40 just so there is some there because I run planted tanks and the plants use the nitrates. And then you can go ahead and add your fish. When you add your fish, because you did a fishless cycle, you may get a bacterial bloom because you have increased the bio load on the tank. But that's completely normal. That will go away in a couple days, and then everything will be fine. Now, average time that it takes to do a fishless cycle is 6 to 8 weeks, roughly in there, if you do it a natural way. The other way that's quote-unquote natural is you can take a piece of shrimp, uncooked, drop it in your tank, and just let it go. It'll do the same thing that the sprinkled food in there does. It will start to break down, produce ammonia, which will get converted to nitrites and then nitrates, and it works the same way. The other options that you have are what are called bacterial starters. Now, a bacterial starter is basically bacteria in a bottle that you can buy at a store, but things get a little tricky when you get into bacterial starters because some of them are actually a pre-established bacterial culture, and others are a dead bacterial culture or sugar water. So you're going to want to do your research as to which ones actually work and which ones don't, because there are so many of them, right? So I'm trying to think of how to do this without dropping a lot of names for the negative ones. So based on research that I've done, the best one that I could recommend to you guys would be Fritz Turbostart, because they actually bottle live bacteria with a food source in there, and it has a very short shelf life. So if you want to start a new tank, get one of those, get it in your tank, and usually with Fritz Turbostart, about a week is how long it takes for that aquarium to fully establish and cycle, and then you can add fish. It's a very good product. I highly recommend it. Not sponsored, but it is a very good product. I have tested out other products. API, I've used I believe theirs is QuickStart. That is now I'm not sure if they bottle it as a live culture and it just has such a long shelf life that it just dies, but it is a dead bacterial culture. Generally, by the time that you get it off of the shelf, it is going to be a dead culture. You add it to your tank. I haven't seen in testing it cycle any faster than doing a natural cycle. Just because it's a dead culture, you're not getting anything out of it, right? The other one that I've done a test on, and I don't even know how to talk about it because it's the store brand, like the Top Fin bacterial starter. It's sugar water. It's not even a bacterial culture. Like normally, if you open a bottle of bacterial culture, you look in, there's little brown stuff in the bottom. That's basically waste, and that's how you get the ammonia for the bacteria to survive. And even in the dead bacterial cultures, there's some in there, which is why I don't know if it's a live or a dead one when they bottle it. But even smelling it, you can kind of tell it's like real earthy. But those ones you smell it, and it's like a little sweet smelling. It's just sugar water. You put it in your tank, that breaks down instead of fish food, converts to ammonia, and then the cycling process ensues as normal. Right? So at that point, ghost feeding or adding a piece of shrimp is essentially the same. So I'm not understanding why they sell that. But Fritz Turbostart, if you want to get a bacterial culture, buy Fritz Turbostart. Excellent product. Will cycle your aquarium. But that's pretty much it. Fish in cycling is a much different story, but I will make another video for that. So until the next video, thank you guys for watching Try Fish Aquatics. Thank you for enjoying my fish room with me, and I will see you guys in the next video.